Old Town is known for its lively bars and cafes and great local food. Perched atop a hill, Bratislava Castle overlooks Old Town and the Danube. Here at Banco Casino, we run another epic festival week with over 50 scheduled events in all formats of poker and casino games. Fly directly to Bratislava or Vienna. Come enjoy the games and most importantly, this beautiful city. Welcome to Bratislava, the capital of Slovakia, by the border of Austria and Hungary. Surrounded by vineyards, crisscrossed with forested hiking, the pedestrian-only Old Town is known for its lively bars and cafes and great local food. Perched atop a hill, Bratislava Castle overlooks Old Town and the Danube. Here at Banco Casino, we run another epic festival week with over 50 scheduled events in all formats of poker and casino games. Fly directly to Bratislava or Vienna. Come enjoy the games and most importantly, this beautiful city. Welcome to Bratislava, the capital of Slovakia, by the border of Austria and Hungary. Surrounded by vineyards, crisscrossed with forested hiking, the pedestrian-only Old Town is known for its lively bars and cafes and great local food. Perched atop a hill, Bratislava Castle overlooks Old Town and the Danube. Here at Banco Casino, we run another epic festival week with over 50 scheduled events in all formats of poker and casino games. Fly directly to Bratislava or Vienna. Come enjoy the games and most importantly, this beautiful city. Welcome to Bratislava, the capital of Slovakia, by the border of Austria and Hungary. Surrounded by vineyards, crisscrossed with forested hiking, the pedestrian-only Old Town is known for its lively bars and cafes and great local food. Perched atop a hill, Bratislava Castle overlooks Old Town and the Danube. Here at Banco Casino, we run another epic festival week with over 50 scheduled events in all formats of poker and casino games. Fly directly to Bratislava or Vienna. Come enjoy the games and most importantly, this beautiful city. Welcome to Bratislava, the capital of Slovakia, by the border of Austria and Hungary. Surrounded by vineyards, crisscrossed with forested hiking, the pedestrian-only Old Town is known for its lively bars and cafes and great local food. Perched atop a hill, Bratislava Castle overlooks Old Town and the Danube. Here at Banco Casino, we run another epic festival week with over 50 scheduled events in all formats of poker and casino games. Fly directly to Bratislava or Vienna. Come enjoy the games and most importantly, this beautiful city. Welcome to Bratislava, the capital of Slovakia, by the border of Austria and Hungary. Surrounded by vineyards, crisscrossed with forested hiking, the pedestrian-only Old Town is known for its lively bars and cafes and great local food. Perched atop a hill, Bratislava Castle overlooks Old Town and the Danube. Here at Banco Casino, we run another epic festival week with over 50 scheduled events in all formats of poker and casino games. Fly directly to Bratislava or Vienna. Come enjoy the games and most importantly, this beautiful city. Welcome to Bratislava, the capital of Slovakia, by the border of Austria and Hungary. Surrounded by vineyards, crisscrossed with forested hiking, the pedestrian-only Old Town is known for its lively bars and cafes and great local food. Perched atop a hill, Bratislava Castle overlooks Old Town and the Danube. Here at Banco Casino, we run another epic festival week with over 50 scheduled events in all formats of poker and casino games. Fly directly to Bratislava or Vienna. Come enjoy the games and most importantly, this beautiful city. Welcome to Bratislava, the capital of Slovakia, by the border of Austria and Hungary. Surrounded by vineyards, crisscrossed with forested hiking, the pedestrian-only Old Town is known for its lively bars and cafes and great local food. Perched atop a hill, Bratislava Castle overlooks Old Town and the Danube. Here at Banco Casino, we run another epic festival week with over 50 scheduled events in all formats of poker and casino games. Fly directly to Bratislava or Vienna. Come enjoy the games and most importantly, this beautiful city. Welcome to Bratislava, the capital of Slovakia, by the border of Austria and Hungary. Surrounded by vineyards, crisscrossed with forested hiking, the pedestrian-only Old Town is known for its lively bars and cafes and great local food. Perched atop a hill, Bratislava Castle overlooks Old Town and the Danube. Here at Banco Casino, we run another epic festival week with over 50 scheduled events in all formats of poker and casino games. Fly directly to Bratislava or Vienna. Come enjoy the games and most importantly, this beautiful city. Welcome to Bratislava, the capital of Slovakia, by the border of Austria and Hungary. Surrounded by vineyards, crisscrossed with forested hiking, the pedestrian-only Old Town is known for its lively bars and cafes and great local food. Perched atop a hill, Bratislava Castle overlooks Old Town and the Danube. Here at Banco Casino, we run another epic festival week with over 50 scheduled events in all formats of poker and casino games. Fly directly to Bratislava or Vienna. Come enjoy the games and most importantly, this beautiful city. Welcome to Bratislava, the capital of Slovakia, by the border of Austria and Hungary. Surrounded by vineyards, crisscrossed with forested hiking, the pedestrian-only Old Town is known for its lively bars and cafes and great local food. Perched atop a hill, Bratislava Castle overlooks Old Town and the Danube. Here at Banco Casino, we run another epic festival week with over 50 scheduled events in all formats of poker and casino games. Fly directly to Bratislava or Vienna. Come enjoy the games and most importantly, this beautiful city. Welcome to Bratislava, the capital of Slovakia, by the border of Austria and Hungary. Surrounded by vineyards, crisscrossed with forested hiking, the pedestrian-only Old Town is known for its lively bars and cafes and great local food. Perched atop a hill, Bratislava Castle overlooks Old Town and the Danube. Here at Banco Casino, we run another epic festival week with over 50 scheduled events in all formats of poker and casino games. Fly directly to Bratislava or Vienna. Come enjoy the games and most importantly, this beautiful city. Welcome to Bratislava, the capital of Slovakia, by the border of Austria and Hungary. Surrounded by vineyards, crisscrossed with forested hiking, the pedestrian-only Old Town is known for its lively bars and cafes and great local food. Perched atop a hill, Bratislava Castle overlooks Old Town and the Danube. Here at Banco Casino, we run another epic festival week with over 50 scheduled events in all formats of poker and casino games. Fly directly to Bratislava or Vienna. Come enjoy the games and most importantly, this beautiful city. Welcome to Bratislava, the capital of Slovakia, by the border of Austria and Hungary. Surrounded by vineyards, crisscrossed with forested hiking, the pedestrian-only Old Town is known for its lively bars and cafes and great local food. Perched atop a hill, Bratislava Castle overlooks Old Town and the Danube. Here at Banco Casino, we run another epic festival week with over 50 scheduled events in all formats of poker and casino games. Fly directly to Bratislava or Vienna. Come enjoy the games and most importantly, this beautiful city. Welcome to Bratislava, the capital of Slovakia, by the border of Austria and Hungary. Surrounded by vineyards, crisscrossed with forested hiking, the pedestrian-only Old Town is known for its lively bars and cafes and great local food. Perched atop a hill, Bratislava Castle overlooks Old Town and the Danube. Here at Banco Casino, we run another epic festival week with over 50 scheduled events in all formats of poker and casino games. Fly directly to Bratislava or Vienna. Come enjoy the games and most importantly, this beautiful city. Welcome to Bratislava, the capital of Slovakia, by the border of Austria and Hungary. Surrounded by vineyards, crisscrossed with forested hiking, the pedestrian-only Old Town is known for its lively bars and cafes and great local food. Perched atop a hill, Bratislava Castle overlooks Old Town and the Danube. Here at Banco Casino, we run another epic festival week with over 50 scheduled events in all formats of poker and casino games. Fly directly to Bratislava or Vienna. Come enjoy the games and most importantly, this beautiful city. Welcome to Bratislava, the capital of Slovakia, by the border of Austria and Hungary. Surrounded by vineyards, crisscrossed with forested hiking, the pedestrian-only Old Town is known for its lively bars and cafes and great local food. Perched atop a hill, Bratislava Castle overlooks Old Town and the Danube. Here at Banco Casino, we run another epic festival week with over 50 scheduled events in all formats of poker and casino games. Fly directly to Bratislava or Vienna. Come enjoy the games and most importantly, this beautiful city. Welcome to Bratislava, the capital of Slovakia, by the border of Austria and Hungary. Surrounded by vineyards, crisscrossed with forested hiking, the pedestrian-only Old Town is known for its lively bars and cafes and great local food. Perched atop a hill, Bratislava Castle overlooks Old Town and the Danube. Here at Banco Casino, we run another epic festival week with over 50 scheduled events in all formats of poker and casino games. Fly directly to Bratislava or Vienna. Come enjoy the games and most importantly, this beautiful city. Welcome to Bratislava, the capital of Slovakia, by the border of Austria and Hungary. Surrounded by vineyards, crisscrossed with forested hiking, the pedestrian-only Old Town is known for its lively bars and cafes and great local food. Perched atop a hill, Bratislava Castle overlooks Old Town and the Danube. Here at Banco Casino, we run another epic festival week with over 50 scheduled events in all formats of poker and casino games. Fly directly to Bratislava or Vienna. Come enjoy the games and most importantly, this beautiful city. Welcome to Bratislava, the capital of Slovakia, by the border of Austria and Hungary. Surrounded by vineyards, crisscrossed with forested hiking, the pedestrian-only Old Town is known for its lively bars and cafes and great local food. Perched atop a hill, Bratislava Castle overlooks Old Town and the Danube. Here at Banco Casino, we run another epic festival week with over 50 scheduled events in all formats of poker and casino games. Fly directly to Bratislava or Vienna. Come enjoy the games and most importantly, this beautiful city. Welcome to Bratislava, the capital of Slovakia, by the border of Austria and Hungary. Surrounded by vineyards, crisscrossed with forested hiking, The pedestrian-only Old Town is known for its lively bars and cafes and great local food. Perched atop a hill, Bratislava Castle overlooks Old Town and the Danube. Here at Banco Casino, we run another epic festival week with over 50 scheduled events in all formats of poker and casino games. Fly directly to Bratislava or Vienna. Come enjoy the games and most importantly, this beautiful city. Welcome to Bratislava, the capital of Slovakia, by the border of Austria and Hungary. Surrounded by vineyards, crisscrossed with forested hiking, the pedestrian-only Old Town is known for its lively bars and cafes and great local food. Perched atop a hill, Bratislava Castle overlooks Old Town and the Danube. Here at Banco Casino, we run another epic festival week with over 50 scheduled events in all formats of poker and casino games. Fly directly to Bratislava or Vienna. Come enjoy the games and most importantly, this beautiful city. Welcome to Bratislava, the capital of Slovakia, by the border of Austria and Hungary. Surrounded by vineyards, crisscrossed with forested hiking, the pedestrian-only Old Town is known for its lively bars and cafes and great local food. Perched atop a hill, Bratislava Castle overlooks Old Town and the Danube. Here at Banco Casino, we run another epic festival week with over 50 scheduled events in all formats of poker and casino games. Fly directly to Bratislava or Vienna. Come enjoy the games and most importantly, this beautiful city. Welcome to Bratislava, the capital of Slovakia, by the border of Austria and Hungary. Surrounded by vineyards, crisscrossed with forested hiking, the pedestrian-only Old Town is known for its lively bars and cafes and great local food. Perched atop a hill, Bratislava Castle overlooks Old Town and the Danube. Here at Banco Casino, we run another epic festival week with over 50 scheduled events in all formats of poker and casino games. Fly directly to Bratislava or Vienna. Come enjoy the games and most importantly, this beautiful city. Welcome to Bratislava, the capital of Slovakia, by the border of Austria and Hungary. Surrounded by vineyards, crisscrossed with forested hiking, the pedestrian-only Old Town is known for its lively bars and cafes and great local food. Perched atop a hill, Bratislava Castle overlooks Old Town and the Danube. Here at Banco Casino, we run another epic festival week with over 50 scheduled events in all formats of poker and casino games. Fly directly to Bratislava or Vienna. Come enjoy the games and most importantly, this beautiful city. Welcome to Bratislava, the capital of Slovakia, by the border of Austria and Hungary. Surrounded by vineyards, crisscrossed with forested hiking, the pedestrian-only Old Town is known for its lively bars and cafes and great local food. Perched atop a hill, Bratislava Castle overlooks Old Town and the Danube. Here at Banco Casino, we run another epic festival week with over 50 scheduled events in all formats of poker and casino games. Fly directly to Bratislava or Vienna. Come enjoy the games and most importantly, this beautiful city. Welcome to Bratislava, the capital of Slovakia, by the border of Austria and Hungary. Surrounded by vineyards, crisscrossed with forested hiking, the pedestrian-only Old Town is known for its lively bars and cafes and great local food. Perched atop a hill, Bratislava Castle overlooks Old Town and the Danube. Here at Banco Casino, we run another epic festival week with over 50 scheduled events in all formats of poker and casino games. Fly directly to Bratislava or Vienna. Come enjoy the games and most importantly, this beautiful city. Welcome to Bratislava, the capital of Slovakia, by the border of Austria and Hungary. Surrounded by vineyards, crisscrossed with forested hiking, the pedestrian-only Old Town is known for its lively bars and cafes and great local food. Perched atop a hill, Bratislava Castle overlooks Old Town and the Danube. Here at Banco Casino, we run another epic festival week with over 50 scheduled events in all formats of poker and casino games. Fly directly to Bratislava or Vienna. Come enjoy the games and most importantly, this beautiful city. Welcome to Bratislava, the capital of Slovakia, by the border of Austria and Hungary. Surrounded by vineyards, crisscrossed with forested hiking, the pedestrian-only Old Town is known for its lively bars and cafes and great local food. Perched atop a hill, Bratislava Castle overlooks Old Town and the Danube. Here at Banco Casino, we run another epic festival week with over 50 scheduled events in all formats of poker and casino games. Fly directly to Bratislava or Vienna. Come enjoy the games and most importantly, this beautiful city. Welcome to Bratislava, the capital of Slovakia, by the border of Austria and Hungary. Surrounded by vineyards, crisscrossed with forested hiking, the pedestrian-only Old Town is known for its lively bars and cafes and great local food. Perched atop a hill, Bratislava Castle overlooks Old Town and the Danube. Here at Banco Casino, we run another epic festival week with over 50 scheduled events in all formats of poker and casino games. Fly directly to Bratislava or Vienna. Come enjoy the games and most importantly, this beautiful city. Welcome to Bratislava, the capital of Slovakia, by the border of Austria and Hungary. Surrounded by vineyards, crisscrossed with forested hiking, the pedestrian-only Old Town is known for its lively bars and cafes and great local food. Perched atop a hill, Bratislava Castle overlooks Old Town and the Danube. Here at Banco Casino, we run another epic festival week with over 50 scheduled events in all formats of poker and casino games. Fly directly to Bratislava or Vienna. Come enjoy the games and most importantly, this beautiful city. Welcome to Bratislava, the capital of Slovakia, by the border of Austria and Hungary. Surrounded by vineyards, crisscrossed with forested hiking, the pedestrian-only Old Town is known for its lively bars and cafes and great local food. Perched atop a hill, Bratislava Castle overlooks Old Town and the Danube. Here at Banco Casino, we run another epic festival week with over 50 scheduled events in all formats of poker and casino games. Fly directly to Bratislava or Vienna. Come enjoy the games and most importantly, this beautiful city. Welcome to Bratislava, the capital of Slovakia, by the border of Austria and Hungary. Surrounded by vineyards, crisscrossed with forested hiking, the pedestrian-only Old Town is known for its lively bars and cafes and great local food. Perched atop a hill, Bratislava Castle overlooks Old Town and the Danube. Here at Banco Casino, we run another epic festival week with over 50 scheduled events in all formats of poker and casino games. Fly directly to Bratislava or Vienna. Come enjoy the games and most importantly, this beautiful city. Welcome to Bratislava, the capital of Slovakia, by the border of Austria and Hungary. Surrounded by vineyards, crisscrossed with forested hiking, the pedestrian-only Old Town is known for its lively bars and cafes and great local food. Perched atop a hill, Bratislava Castle overlooks Old Town and the Danube. Here at Banco Casino, we run another epic festival week with over 50 scheduled events in all formats of poker and casino games. Fly directly to Bratislava or Vienna. Come enjoy the games and most importantly, this beautiful city. Welcome to Bratislava, the capital of Slovakia, by the border of Austria and Hungary. Surrounded by vineyards, crisscrossed with forested hiking, the pedestrian-only Old Town is known for its lively bars and cafes and great local food. Perched atop a hill, Bratislava Castle overlooks Old Town and the Danube. Here at Banco Casino,
No problem.
I didn't even know that this was like streamed or anything. I was like, yeah, this is kind of competition, so I signed.
Yeah, we're famous. We're all gonna do a shot. We all need to do a shot. We have service, please. As long as it's not tequila. Jaeger? Everything is everything counts, but not tequila. Rounding Jaegers, no? Jaeger. No, I don't do Jaeger myself.
And hello here from the festival in Bratislava. We are starting a cash game. €2, €2. That's 2 small blind, 2 big blind cash game here at the festival. We've had a fabulous week so far. Lots of amazing events. We've had different types of kind of casino games, an 8 game, various PLOs. And this is our first cash game. We'll just go through the runners and riders. So I'll just grab a picture of the names. Here we've got in seat 1 Dan Pilgrim, we've got Michel Molinar in seat 2, William Paxton seat 3, Rizwan Wakar seat 4, Johan Lendenius in seat 5, Geza Zazbo, it's hard to pronounce, in 6, Jens Ries in 7, and Sandor Lietenroth in 8. I will be using first names only because the surnames are really quite hard for me. I'm English and these things are difficult. So of the players at the table, I do know a couple of them and we'll be expecting lots of action. I'll take my glasses off for this one. So this particular nightly event, there's been regular streamed cash games, and we'll also be streaming the final of the High Roller PLO, which was a 1,000 buy-in. I think there's about 40 runners for that, so the final table of that will be later. And here we have the first hand being dealt out. So each player gets 4 cards for those that are unclear on the rules of Omaha. Oh no, I do need my glasses. Right, here we go. So you can see the hands that people have, so I don't need to do too much explanation. Very nice looking hand there, Ace Jack 10-10. That's our Scottish William. Sounds like he's raising the pot there. I can't actually hear what's going on the table. I don't know if that can be done by our techie team. I'm not sure if I'm meant to hear them or not, but I can't at the moment. So we've got a very nice hand there. Certainly be defended by the Ace Jack 10, I suspect. Jens Ries is an interesting character. He's an Irishman who lives in Denmark. I was on the table with him last night. He's loud, to say the least. He's sitting in seat 7. So we've got quite a nice array of hands here at the moment. So the first hand has been raised and we've got a few calls. We've got a 7-5-8 rainbow flop, very connected. So hands that have got the kind of middle 9-10s, 6-9, 6-9-10. So we look across and look at we see that is only one player, 70% favourite. He's already got the nuts, he's got the 6-9, and he's got the redraw for the 10. So he's got the made straight. There's no flush on board at the moment. Very, very strong position. I don't think he'll get a lot of opposition here. He's a very nice young man, Sandor. I played Omaha with him earlier today, and also the 8 game. Fairly solid kind of player, very nice man. And the table is appreciating that he was hit that flop, and all of their holdings did not.
Have you seen what we paid for the weekend? Yeah, I know, but it's just shots and shit. I don't think. I can't remember. I think we paid for shots.
Right, so we're going to be on to the second hand now, about to be dealt out. So we have 8 players here at our 2-2 cash game.
I know you I saw that you were drinking a lot of those bottles.
Okay, we have the second hand of the night being dealt out. First to act will be William in seat 3. It folds that, fair enough. And we've got Rizwan in seat 4. Got a nice looking ace king 10-4, one suit there. Rizwan, I think he's made a raise there. And being completed by Sandor on the end. Dan is also coming in. Dan in seat 1, who's a young English player, has been featured on both the Hold'em and the PLO Cash during the last couple of nights. And we get a final call. So we have 4 players to the flop. Some decent holdings out there, the King, King, Jack 9 being the favourite one. It's really hard. It's very hard to see the... So we've got 2 players. We've got a flop of 6, 7, Jack, 2 clubs. We've got no flush draw there. The King, King, Jack 9 is still winning, and I think Dan knows where he is and bets that through. Well played, Dan. So far we haven't had any big battles, early stages at this cash game. Players getting to know each other. Some will know each other already, and some won't. We have our 3rd hand of the night being dealt out. Here at Banco Casino in Bratislava. In fact, last week they had the Winamax Championships, which is a French poker platform, online platform, and broke the record for both the amount of runners in a tournament and the amount of prize pool, just under €1 million. The festival is guaranteeing $500,000 this week for the main event, and I'm sure we'll surpass that. Apparently, certain people that bet on these things, not me obviously, are looking at about 600,000, which will be the 2nd biggest. Certainly one of the biggest guarantees ever made in Slovakia. So Dan is coming in with his usual aggressive play. He's got a good holding though, so it's a fair enough raise. William is going to defend with a double suited hand and connected. The ace queen connects, the 8-6 connects, and he has 2 suits. He's a very solid player. You're not going to bully William, so whatever Dan's play, who does have an inferior hand at the moment, the king queen 10-9, although it is connected, so these 2 hands are very well balanced. In fact, you'll see 51%, 49%. You'll see the evidence of that these 2 hands are very similarly rated, and obviously a lot will be flop dependent. 2-2-7 is a really bad flop for both of these players. Neither have got a top pair, so the winner of this hand will be almost certainly the one who plays it the most aggressively. Dan did the initial raise, he's following through. He doesn't have a pair, but neither does anyone else, so he's probably going to get this through. I can't see Sandor defending with just a 7. So well done, Dan. That's where, in Omaha, where aggression can get you the rewards. So young Dan takes that pot. That's the 2nd pot in a row for him. I played the satellite last night for the main event and I knocked Dan's mother out. I feel very bad about that, very guilty. Sorry, Dan, but maybe I'll make it up by saying something nice about you. I doubt it very much, but I'm going to try. But your mum was very nice and very gracious in defeat. Mind you, she didn't actually have even 2 big blinds, so that was unfortunate to let herself get down that far. But this is a cash game, so things like blinds don't matter too much. People could lose all of their stack and just reload another €500, bang, on the table, and start again. So the main difference here between a cash game and a tournament is you can reload in cash, and in tournaments, although you may be able to buy in, you also may be beyond the point of doing that, and at some point someone will win. Here we're just looking to make money from the other players. So we've had an initial raise. We've got a connected 3, 5, 6, 8 and a double suited hand, neither of whom have hit the flop again. And this is where play gets interesting, is when no one hits the flop, who's going to take it. So we now have one pair only from Jens. In fact, he makes Rizwan makes 3 of a kind. I'm sure he'll be betting this. Hasn't made a full house, but the 3 6s will definitely take that through, and Jens folds. So neither player took the initiative, and basically Rizwan hit his 3 of a kind. There was not much else on the board to worry about, so he took it down.
Oh, I can't pay, he took my wallet. 5 off his stack. Get 5 off his stack. What? 5 off his stack. 5. Is that enough? Maybe we're not making it with 5. Give me singles. Yeah. Give me singles. Don't do the singles. How much keep the singles? Yeah, keep 40. We've got 40. Let's go. Let's go. We've got it. It's got to be hard collecting 50 with your €5 when you're 800. Where are they? Oh, they're all over there. They're all over here, so they're safe. Yeah. Thank you. We've got to spread them out. We'll see you in about half an hour. So, I hope you didn't tip her. No. Jaeger. Send it a pass. Don't worry about the table. Jaeger's in there. Who did that? Who did that? Spread what this is. I've got it.
Shots for everyone. This is a fun cash game, so here we go. Someone's brought in the shots. They're all being passed around. So we've got a flop of Jack 10-3, rainbow again. Dan has hit top 2 pairs. We have a gut shot for Rizwan. I've got a feeling that Dan will be, in fact he's hit all 3, Jack 10 and 3. He's hit all 3. I can't see Dan going anywhere at all on this board, and I doubt very much Rizwan will get too active on this board. All he has is a gut shot draw, needs a king to make a straight, and Dan still would have the house redraw. Rizwan has called though. Oh, and then we have the cheers to everyone. And now Dan has made his full house. He's got 3s over jacks, and it's a kind of a deceptive hand to make. Dan will be betting it, but I don't think he'll get called. I think Rizwan will have to let this pass. And yes, he does. So Dan's taken another pot. That's 3 out of 4 for young Dan Pilgrim. There we go. There's another pot.
Me and my friend shared 6 bottles of vodka. I woke up at my house about 9 a.m. Oh, you threw up all over my room. So I put you on a train at 6 a.m.
You from England? Which part?
That's from someone, a friend of mine listening.
South of Scotland.
8 minutes ago. So it was after I started. So here we have a flop of ace 7-5, 2 clubs. We have Rizwan again in the action, and we have Sandor. Sandor is bluffing here with the Queen 10-10-9. Rizwan has top pair. I don't think he's going to be folding for one bet. He certainly isn't. So he's called the 15 euros. We now have ace king. That's given Rizwan a gut shot draw, but it's also given Sandor a gut shot. He's got the Queen 10. So neither want to hit that card. Sandor's following through with the aggression. He's bet the pot 48, and the aggression there has worked very well. He's taken that pot by representing a bigger ace than Rizwan had. That sounds okay, I don't know about me. No, look, you can hear the sound of the chips. Yep. Okay. So here we can see the positions of the chip count. Sandor has the most, but they're all between 250 and 500 euros. There's a new hand being dealt out. We've got Jens with an ace queen jack 6, one suit. I'm sure we'll see some action there. He's just called, I think, by the look of it. Dan is folding. We've got a nice connected hand with Sandor, but he did fold it. Now that's a hand I like playing. 4, 6, 4, 5, 6, 8, I think it was. Went very quickly. Looks like we have two players to the flop. So we have a made straight for Jens. Can he get value out of this? Because we have top pair and an up and down. So he's being deceptive, he's checking it. Although now the board has paired, which makes it more dangerous for the made straight. So Jens is betting and gets it through. Had the best hand on the flop. Had the made Broadway, made straight, ace to 10, takes down a small pot. Starting to hear a bit.
Come over here.
I can hear that microphone.
You can wind out for a bit. Keep leading, take a break. Come back.
Here we have another hand, and we have a raise by William, who's holding ace 6-5-4 with one suit. So we have a nice connected hand there, the 4-5-6. If it hits, can make a lot in Omaha. It's the kind of hand that's quite deceptive because most people will put people who raise on a higher holding, a kind of ace, king, jack 10 type holding. So Dan is folding his, so William's strength there, his table presence has taken him through, even though the hand wasn't one of the strongest you get in Omaha. But again, an interesting one, a deceptive one where 3 cards are connected and you've got the ace flush draw as well.
I remember buying around the shots for me at Starbucks for €60 for 6 shots.
So I'm sitting with 20 big blinds for like €12. That's not that easy to play.
For 20, yeah, alright.
You go to Norway.
Not that hard, that's why.
We have another hand being dealt out.
Norway's normal price. Like no, Norway's fucked up. Norway is always great. 25 euros.
I pulled
Has indeed. 16. We've got a massive hand by in seat 6. Goes out ace, ace, queen, queen. I'm sure he's going to be re-raising here, and he does indeed. Big 5 bet, €64. Now most people here have to respect that bet. You're not going to get
How much
too
did
much. Seat 2 is asking information.
I don't know how to count the
Still folding. I think Michelle's a Dutch player.
I play about 300,
Who again is
2 big blinds less or something.
strong Scottish player. I played a few tournaments with him. I played Cowboy. He probably wisely, even though he made a 4 bet, folds. And it was such a strong hand, the ace queen. Knocked out of the PLO tournament a couple of days ago against him.
They have a common name.
I don't.
First move for the young man.
I looked at it,
As I said, I didn't even know like this was
sat down with that one case.
special. I thought this was just like,
Left the game at 8 a.m.
I didn't know what.
You can win a package. It's a double vote.
Yeah, like I was there with Joe
And one wins the most big prize. Wins a package. Not from this, but the all cities. Winners will win the festival. What's the next? There's a lot of.
Some of the players getting to know each other on the table.
Come on, man, no business.
It doesn't matter. You can use it for the next one after, and if you want to target instead.
I saw him playing craps in Vegas. It was 6 a.m. in Dallas. There's a 40 back in front of him, like 3K number. I know he does. Mine's growing. My illness is growing.
So we have a first raise from seat 5. So Johan with a king, king, 9-5. He certainly will get respect there, although young Dan is definitely going to have a look, or maybe even a re-raise of an ace, queen, queen, 8. He's just decided to call. Michelle, 4 diamonds, you don't want that in your hand, only 2 count from your hand, so certainly don't want that. So we've got a very, very good hand for Dan. He's hit top pair and a flush draw. He will not be going anywhere. Looks like Dan has raised all in. He's raised the pot with his draw. He's very happy to get it in with the gut shot queen 8 and the nut flush draw, plus he's hit top pair, and that certainly will get through. there aren't many holdings he's actually going to be losing to, and he's got the 2 draws. So that was a very nice piece of work there by young Dan. If you do want to send any questions in, do send it via the Facebook live site. So we're now looking at the Casino Banco Bratislava.
Anybody else? Good service. Cuba Libre. Slice of lime. And a bit of sugar. No sugar. Diet Coke.
So here we have seat 3, William, with 3 7s and a 2. Again, a very bad holding in Omaha. Daniel is calling with a very interesting 2 3 4 8. You really have to hit the low draw for that one to play. So no one's got much of anything on this particular hand. So we've got three chances, I would say, playing this one. We've got Ace 3 Queen. That actually makes Dan's hand a bit stronger because he has a gut shot draw with the Ace 3. William will certainly be the aggressor here because he was the first to act. He's actually got nothing except 3 7s in his hand. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. And looks like Michel has folded. So we now have Daniel has made 3 3s. He is not going anywhere. He's called William's bet, so William is bluffing the whole way on this one. That queen may stop Daniel getting too frisky on this one. William may well have another stab. There's 82 euros in the pot. If he makes, no, he decided to check, and because Daniel didn't have the nuts, the queen slowed him up, but he was happy to take that pot with 3 3s. Well played again, Dan. I think he's definitely the VPIP of this table, the most aggressive player, and he's also been hitting all the flops. He'll also be entertaining the table with his many tales of living in Doncaster. Are there any tales of living in Doncaster? I don't know. So here we are, cash game at the Banco Casino, part of the festival series. This is now the 3rd one. We were here in Bratislava this time last year, and we were in Tallinn a few months ago. And there's some very exciting announcements quite recently. The festival will actually be in Britain at Dusk Till Dawn in Nottingham in mid-February. So quite not so long away, really. 4 months' time, we will have the first UK festival. I will definitely be there. It's a fantastic week full of a wide range of mixed tournaments, mixed games, Omahas, high-lows, 8-game, horse, all sorts of variants of this wonderful game of poker. And you just don't get that much in the UK. Which is why I will always come to places like Bratislava and Tallinn, where you get a lovely mix of European players and a fantastic mix of events. And it's a very, very friendly festival. People are mixing and remember friends from the last time, and people, a lot of drinking, to be honest. So here we have a pot of 42 euros. We've got 2 hearts and a connected king 10. Rizwan has hit this fairly well with a queen 9, so he's got a gut shot and a flush draw. Johan has also picked up a flush draw. We now have a 9-10, so we don't have any made hands yet, but a lot of possibilities. So we've got 2 pairs. It's actually in the lead at the moment. Johan probably won't be going anywhere. He's got the 2 pairs, and he still has the flush draw. Dan has top pair and is letting that go. So Johan, who hasn't played many hands, is getting respect for that, as well as actually having the best hand when he bet. Slightly different from William's 3 sevens and a 2 that Dan picked up in the last pot. So this is a 2-2 PLO. It's it's not too expensive. I think it's a $250 euro minimal entry, and some players have gone up to about 450, 500 from winning some pots. So the kind of average stack is around about 300 at the moment. Sometimes that will come up on the screen and you'll see everyone's position in terms of how many chips they have. This is Johan's past 4 connected low cards. I personally like playing those kind of hands because if you hit, chances are that no one else will have. Jens folded his 3 9s and a 6. Here, Geza has a lovely hand. He was the player that had the ace-ace, queen-queen before. So he's called a raise with queen, jack, 10-10, a very nice holding in Omaha. William is also in, as is Rizwan. So we've got quite a few connected hands. The best looking hand probably is the queen, jack, 10-10 with the diamonds, followed closely, although the favourite is Rizwan, which is interesting. So we have queen, 8-5, 2 clubs. No one's actually hit that much of it, and no one has a club draw. So again, I think the turn will give us a very different picture. If a heart comes, it gives the flush draw. If anything between an 8 and a queen comes, then we have another 8. So now Rizwan moves ahead. He has 3 8s in his hand. No one else has an 8, and no one has a flush draw. So I'm pretty sure that they're all going to be folding to Rizwan's bet of 32 euros. So here's a pot-sized bet, and takes it down by the look of it. Oh, we're getting a close-up on our Scottish friend William. He's here with 2 friends, and like me, can't find the kind of mix of events in Britain, so makes the effort to fly out to Tallinn, where I met him first last year, and Bratislava this week, because they get to play a full week of mixed events, which we all love and don't get enough of in the UK. So we've had no raises yet. Johan has the kind of hand, Michel rather, that he could play, but he's deciding to fold. William has ace, queen, 3-5. I'm pretty sure he'll be raising with that. He raises with a lot worse. Rizwan has called. He's got a connected 7, 8, 9 with 1 suit. Perfectly reasonable hand. He's actually hit 2 pairs with a 7-3. He probably won't be going anywhere. But William has actually hit ace-3, so William is dominating him, and you can see that with the 84% against 16. Rizwan's problem is he's going to find it hard to put William on an ace-7 or an ace-3. So he may well think his 7-3 is good. Now, if the board pairs here with either the 3 or the ace, that could be quite a problem for Rizwan. So we now have 2 hearts on board. That hasn't really changed either hand. William will still feel confident that his ace-3 is winning and is betting accordingly. That jack won't help Rizwan, and he may call or fold. He certainly won't be raising, and he's just made a call. So he still thinks his 7-3 has a good chance of winning. William may well elect to check here because quite a few straights have been made. Yep, he does. Shows the ace-3. Rizwan may or may not show his hand. You don't have to in a cash game, and he decides not to. And just William takes down that pot. So he had the best hand all the way through. And Rizwan did have 2 pairs, didn't improve, and quite rightly folded at the end. So with PLO, what you're looking for in your 4 cards, if possible, is for all 4 to be connected. So a kind of 9-10 Queen Jack, fantastic hand. Yeah, it's 4 in a row, and even 4 cards with 1 gap, a 9-10 Jack King. So there's no Queen, there's a gap there. Is also a pretty strong starting hand. And if you have at least 1 suit, so if 2 of the cards are suited, or you have 2 suits, so you have King Jack of Hearts, 9-10 of Spades, that's a very good starting hand because you're increasing the chances of hitting flops and increasing the chances of beating your opponent. Obviously you get a lot of people in PLO who like Ace Ace XX. I'm not the biggest fan of it because there's so many rundown cards that can beat a big pair like aces or kings. So I've always preferred a kind of Queen Jack 10-8 1 suit to any Ace Ace, unless they're double suited and connected. So an Ace Ace King Jack double suited, obviously a very, very powerful hand in Omaha, will beat most other hands. But people put a lot of money behind Ace Ace 7-3, for instance, and it's not as powerful in PLO as people think. Now here's a very good example. William actually has Ace Ace 8-8, so he has 2 pairs and 1 of them suited. That is a strong starting hand, and against most of the other holdings we see is certainly a firm favourite. In fact, we can see he's got 37% here, but everyone has something. So Michel has a pair of kings, Jens has a 5-6 Queen Jack. That's quite a loose call. That's not a great hand to be calling with. Rizwan actually has an interesting hand because he's double suited. He's got the Ace 8 of clubs and the 9-4 of spades. So he's double suited here, and obviously flop dependent. So having said that Jens had a poor hand, he smacked that flop with a jack. Unfortunately, we have the nuts in William with the Ace Ace Jack Jack. So we have a full house of aces over jacks for William. Now how will he get value? He's checking, so he's allowing someone else to bet. Very clever move. Jens will certainly be calling, having hit his jack. He's not putting anyone on aces at the moment because William's very sneaky, very clever check. He's now checking on how much people have behind, etc. Probably doesn't want to give the game away quite yet. May just select to call here. I think that would be, there's already a lot in the pot though. So it's 125. No, he's gone all in because the value of the pot is so high. Jens thinks he's miles ahead with his jack. He's going to get quite a surprise when he ends up losing to a full house, unless a magic jack hits the turn or the river. Let's see the surprise on his face. William's got a smile on his, which is not a surprise. So I think he's drawing literally to 1 jack. He's got 12%. There are 2 cards to come, so he's got 12% to hit a jack. That's not 1. That will now reduce to 6%. There's still a jack in the pack. and he does not hit it. So the full house holds, which is as expected, which is why he was so much favourite before. Now, I did say before we saw the hand that I didn't like Jens's call with his hand, and I think I've proven right on that one, because he got in trouble by hitting his jack against a much better holding of William's ace-ace. So that's an example where be careful what you wish for. Jens would have felt pretty confident that he was ahead by hitting his jack and found himself in a €300 world of trouble. So it's a very big pot, €737, biggest pot of the night so far, going to our Scottish friend William. Well played, William. Jens is quite a character, and he's had a few drinks. He's 100% the loudest on the table. I haven't quite worked out. He is Danish. He has a Danish name but an Irish accent, and lives in Denmark. I haven't quite worked out his heritage yet. He knows all the other Irish players that are here. There's a party of Irish players who I also met in the Irish Open in Dublin a few months ago, and in fact Jens was there as well. So he's pulled up another 300. You can see the two green chips, the 200 chips. Sandor's given him change for 100, so he's starting again with 300. This time Sandor has an interesting hand. I can see him playing this one. Ace King 10-6 with one suit. Oh no, it's tightened up. Dan's in with a raise. With an Ace 10-9-9, one suit, and I've quite a similar hand from Michel, an Ace King 10-7, slightly dominated because Dan has the pair, but this may well be who hits what flop and or whose aggression is the highest. Don't forget, you can put in your okay. So we have a new hand being dealt out. Bit of refreshment for young Dan. He's got a 2-6-6-7. Probably won't be going too far with that one, although being Dan, he of course raises with it. Johan, I think, just calls. Now again, that's an interesting hand. Johan, no, he's 3-bet, and quite right. He's got double suited and connected hand. Although they're all low, Ace 3-3-4 plays very well. However, Dan's hand, if he calls, dominates it in terms of the straight and the flush of the hearts. And then we've also got Sandor, who does look interested with a very good holding. Wow, folds an Ace Jack 10-9. That's interesting. And that was the aggression from Jens with a King 9-6. Jens putting the pressure on with a good hand, and everyone's wanting to see a flop with their low cards, had to fold. So well played, Jens. Got a small amount back from the 300 he lost to William in that Ace Jack board a couple of hands ago. Oh, here we have another hand being dealt out. So the players so far, the tightest player has certainly been seat 6, who's now Geza Zsajbo, which I think is probably Hungarian, not sure. So Geza has made a 4-bet to 32 euros. I can't see his holding yet, but I'm sure it'll be. It's a double suited, Ace King 4-7, nice hand, double suited, 2 connectors, the Ace King and the 7-4 connecting. So different ways of winning the hand. Plus he will get respect by the rest of the table because he's played very few hands, and the hands he has played have all been good holdings. I can't see, again, Sandor, Ace Jack 7-6, double suited and connected, very similar hand. In a cash game, I find it surprising he's folded that, I'll be honest. What's William doing here? So William did the initial raise, was 4-bet by Geza. William, the winner of the biggest pot so far tonight, has folded his cards, so it probably was more like his 7-7-7-2 than his suited aces, where he won a big pot. It's good to mix it up though. I mean, PLO is a game that all sorts of connected and suited hands can win. It's very important in any cash game to be mixing up your style, raise with rubbish, so that when you raise with your good hands, you may well get called. So it's a game of deception, a game of courage in many ways, and also a game of how much money have you got in your pocket. So Jens has obviously got far too much money, calling with that hand he called before, and unfortunately for him, hitting what he thought was a good board. Again, we've got William, who seems to be the more aggressive player on the table at the moment, but again, he's got 829 euros, 400 of which was someone else's 20 minutes ago. He's raised with his hand. Dan has come in with a pretty good holding, Queen 9-5, so you've got a connector there and a flush. And Michel has got an Ace 3-7-6, and I think quite rightly is calling. If he hits his clubs or a nice middle straight draw, hits a 4-5, that kind of thing, then he's going to be in good shape. He's dominated by William's flush, 9-high flush, and we've got an Ace 3-4, so Michel has hit 2 pairs and he's got a gut shot draw, but there are 2 diamonds. Now, although he doesn't know it, no one else has diamonds, so he's the aggressor. They're going to give him respect. He's hardly played a hand, and immediate folds from our British players on the table. Holland 1, Britain 0. Probably about right in football. Or that'd be Holland 5, Scotland 0, probably. Sorry, William. We have a change of dealer. Very hard to tell who it is because all I get to see, as well as you, is the back of the dealer. Players chatting to the neighbours. You can hear, I think, a conversation going on. In fact, I can't, so I can't even add any value there. They could be talking, I have no idea. The weather, that's it. Or like the mad Omaha hands they've been involved in. So here we have Johan's folding, playing a very tight cash game at the moment. Oh, here comes security. Oh, no, someone's in trouble. No, I think he's our cash game tournament director. Just big chat. So we've got a call from Dan. Now Dan's got a lovely hand there. No, raise. Thank goodness for that. 7-8-9 queen. So we've got a 7-8-9 and then a double space. No 10 or jack and queen. It's a very nice starting hand. Everyone folded and you got it through. It's kind of PLO hand you want in either a tournament or a cash game because it can hit an awful lot of flops. Do you think we can move that camera? Because I have to look here, and the camera's there. Can move the camera. No? Okay, don't worry. Okay, guys, back to the action. And we have a lovely holding by Geza, the ace, king, queen, jack. 4 connected high cards. And if you compare that to Jens's hand, who has raised the king, queen, 10, 9, it totally dominates it. And William also has got a lower connected holding of 5, 7, 7, 8. So at the moment, our screen shows William as a favourite before the flop, but that doesn't make a lot of sense. So what you can now see is a 9-10. So you've got Geza with every high card, the jack, 10, queen, above that, and is in good shape. You've also got Jens, who's hit 2 pairs, the 10-9. However, if any jack, 10 or king comes on the board, it will give the nuts to Geza. We've got William with the lower end of the straight. He's got a 7-8 on the 9-10 board. It is rainbow, so there are no flush draws yet. Not that many of them have flush draws. We've got Jens with the spades. And Jens is going for this big time, putting massive pressure. Can't see William calling here because he's going to know that the other players have got the higher end of the draw. Yeah, and he wisely folds. Geza will almost certainly call with his holding. He has the complete rundown of the jack, queen, king, ace. I think they're probably discussing how many times to run it, which you can do in a cash game, not in a festival. So we have a big pot, 682 euros, and Jens has committed his whole stack like he did before. This boy has come here to gamble for sure. He is winning at the moment, but any high card. Now a jack would also give him the straight to the king, but any other high card like the queen or the king will be bad news for Jens. So although Jens is winning at the moment, and it shows 72%, and he's now closed it up with a full house. So he has won the second biggest pot of the night. Well done, Jens. He's probably back to even from his start. So it doesn't matter if the straight hits now, because Jens has won with a full house. Here's the second run out though. So Jens is still winning with the 10-9. So any high card will give... No, he holds there as well. So I think they've run it twice. That means half the pot for the first run. So 340 euros for the first 2 cards, and then the other half for the second. But Jens won both of them. His 10-9 held. Pretty unlucky for Geza not to win one of those. He had a very good drawing hand with every high card giving him the nuts.
Back to basics.
Yeah, that bit stop. Can we switch it away? 6 cards? Yeah.
He doesn't play it, so...
Yeah, you can play the high end and then...
That's what we said.
So now we have to have... There's another player rebuying just like Jens had to. So now Geza has lost his starting 300 euros and he's rebuying for I think another 300. He had a little behind him because he had slightly more than Jens in that last pot. So Jens, certainly one of the aggressive players who doesn't like folding, is back on par. And cash games can have big swings. You can be down 1 minute and up the next. This is a nice hand from Sandor, the Queen Queen Jack 8. And also a double suited Ace 4 6 9 for Dan. Also an interesting hand, and he has re-raised to 10 euros there. I'm pretty sure Sandor will not be going anywhere. He may not feel the need to re-raise and just call the 10. And Geza also has a very nice holding of 7, 8, 10 Jack. There's just one gap between the 4 cards, which makes it a very playable connected hand. However, if he does hit a flop, the Queen Queen Jack 8 of Sandor will probably hit it better, which is why he's 42% favourite to win this pot. But as soon as the flop comes of Ace 9 and smacks Dan in the face with 2 pairs, everyone else is going to struggle. In fact, Geza has now improved with his straight draw. He's got the 7, 8, 10, so he's got a wrap around the Jack 9. No one's got diamonds, but I can't see. Wow, he's folded. That's very strange. In a cash game, I can't fold a wrap on a single bet. That's a very strange play. Maybe he's still bruised and wounded from losing his first 300 euros to Jens. But I think in a cash game, you can't assume that the better, in this case Dan, is going to be totally dominating you, and he wasn't. He had Ace 9, he had 2 pairs, and Geza had the wrap around the Jack 9, which is a strong holding. So if I was coaching him, I'd be asking him to think a bit longer about whether or not it's worth making a call there and see what happens on the turn. If it pairs or if the diamond hits and Dan is still playing it aggressively, fair enough, you can fold. Right, Dan again in the ascendancy is raising, so he's in profit of at least 150, 200 euros from what he started with. 6, 7, 8 king suited, and Geza has got a nice low connecting cards but doesn't like playing it. Jens this time has Ace, King, King 3. Neither of them are going to put too much into this. Dan has now hit a straight with his 7-8, so it's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Certainly going to be betting this, and I would think Jens will just fold because he doesn't have a lot to do with the flop. He has no straight, no clubs, just an overpair. And Dan takes down the pot. Wasn't a big pot though.
Hey, there we go. You should know. It's your street.
He's an idiot. You say finish.
Did you finish a cigarette?
I was just running to get a bit, and I'm getting told off for not taking too many.
No, it's not. The mouth being wrong again.
You need the guy in the floral shirt. Oh wait, he won the PLO contest. Oh, he got 6. Perfect. Alright, that's okay. Oh yeah.
So we've had a raise from Dan again, who's on the aggressive thing, but Jens has got a much stronger holding of the King, King, 10-3. He's re-raised to 14. This time Sandor has the aces and he's only called. It's interesting. So he's being deceptive here with his aces, or like I said earlier, recognizes that are bad aces because he doesn't have any flush on it. Is a hand to be quite careful of. Now when this kind of board hits, the 8-9 Jack, someone has smacked that in the face with a straight draw. We now have top set for Jens, and he has a blocker for the straight. He has a 10. He's betting it, and Sandor, by slow playing his aces without going too mad, can probably get away from this because it's such a connected board. He hasn't got a flush, he's only got an overpair. Dan, however, has the made straight with the 7-10, so he's certainly not going anywhere. He just calls though, so he's being careful. A flush is now made. Jens may not bet this, and Dan will take it down. I think there'll be 2 checks. Yep, there are. Dan announces he has a straight. Jens will show the 3 kings, I'm sure, and feel very hard done by. The flush there stopped both players betting because either one could have had a flush. So here you've just seen on the screen the cash chips that all the players have in front of them. I think most started with 300, so there's a few in profit and a few in loss, which is kind of how it works. And Michel is coming in to a raise here with a suited ace-jack 8-4, that's double suited hand. Johan has a very nice 8-10 Jack-Queen, lovely connected middle hand. So he's decided to 3-bet and use his very solid table presence. Geza, who is losing at the moment, may feel he needs to try and catch up. So although his hand's not great, Ace-King 6-6, he's decided to come into the pot. And Michel has called the 3-bet from Johan. So again, 44 euros in the pot. A lot of what happens next will depend. So we have 2 diamonds. We have a good straight draw for Johan. And Michel has kind of missed this flop really. He doesn't have diamonds. He doesn't have a straight draw, and he doesn't have an overpair. So I would think Johan's bet will get through. Can't see. Sorry, Michel's bet will get through. Can't see anyone fighting back on that one. Oh, Johan's got a nice starting hand, 7-7, 8-10 with 1 suit. Nice connected hand, but he doesn't like it. Where have these guys learned their PLO? I don't know. That's a lovely hand. I can't fold that in a tournament or a cash game. I certainly want to have a look at a flop. But, oh, maybe he had a 6th sense that Sandor would wake up with suited aces. Dan's coming in with a King Jack Jack 7, 1 suit. And Michel's got a very playable hand, 6-6, 7-9. Happy with a call there. William sorting his hand out so the computer can pick up his 4 cards, which we can't see at the moment. I think he's called the raise. You can't see his hand, but I'm going to assume it is a reasonable hand. So let's see what kind of flop we get. We've now got a pot of 64 euros, and bang, the ace has hit a set. No one has a flush draw, although William may do, I don't know his hand. But Sandor will certainly be looking to get value out of his top set. So he's bet 50 euros. He's a very strong bet into a pot of not much more, and that goes through. And the reason he's done that is the ace-8 is 2 hearts, so there's a flush draw out there. The ace-queen connects. Someone could have king-jack-10 and feel like they want to take a risk with it. So it's a good strategy to take a smaller pot when you've hit your top set, because you're not risking losing to someone else's draw. It makes it more difficult and more expensive for someone with a straight or flush draw to come along with you. So well played, Sandor. Raised with the aces, hit an ace, and took down a pot of 80 odd euros.
When you're on it.
So Dan is now raising on the button, so he's using the button as a raise with a 4, 5, 9, 10. Not particularly good hand, but he's raising with the button. He's getting called by Michel. There's a good hand, ace, 10, 7, 7, and a double suited hand for William, queen, jack, 7, 5, and both connected. No one's got a 6, so may not be too much action here. Dan is checking as well, even though he raised 7. So now Michel has hit a full house with his pair of 7s. I did say I like that hand beforehand. But he's letting William bet. So he checked, he's let William bet. Now William has a7 and a queen. He may think his 2 pairs are winning because no one bets on the 6. Very hard for him to put Michel on a pair of 7s. I think we're going to see a raise here. Will he get the respect? I think it probably is quite a full raise. William now has a decision. Is his queen 7 winning? He may well think Michel has slow played a 6. Either way, he feels he's behind and folds quite rightly, and would have been in a world of trouble because he was literally drawing dead. Well, he was drawing to a queen actually, so he could have hit one of the 2 queens, and 12% not terribly good. So later tonight we will have the final table of the PLO High Roller, currently on a break. So €1,000 buy-in, that one, and they will be playing through to the conclusion tonight. So it could be a late one. I was going to go to bed. Instead I'm here. Right. And it's wonderful it is to be here. We're in one of the side rooms of the Crown Plaza, which is the hotel that the casino is underneath. So we've got cash games going on downstairs in the main casino. We've got the big main event happening upstairs in one of the large hotel conference rooms, and another tournament going on in another room. It's a very, very active festival. 3 or 4 hotels in the immediate area are all sold out, full of festival poker players from a wonderful array of countries, a lot from Scandinavia, Iceland, Sweden, Norway, represented well. A few Brits, which is nice. A few friends of mine are here. My nephew, Svante, is here from Stockholm, and he's in the main event, and he's got through to day 2. I will be playing the main event on Friday. I won a seat courtesy of Party Poker, who are one of 14 affiliates, 14 online poker organisations are partners of the festival, which is, I think it must be a record. Most poker events and festivals team up with one online company like Poker Stars or Party Poker. What the festival has done, which I think is very clever, and the people that run it should be applauded, is actually been very fair and across the board. They've made sure they've got partners in every country. So in the UK, we were able to use Unibet and Party Poker. In Sweden and Norway, they're able to use PAF, Coolbet, all sorts of Scandinavian online poker sites and etc. So it depends on what region and country you're in, but there have been the availability to some fabulous value satellites online. So I won my €550 main event and 6 nights at the lovely Crown Plaza, worth €1,250 for the pricey sum of €33 on Party Poker. Thank you, Party Poker. In fact, won quite a lot of satellites on Party Poker. I think seems to do quite well there. Now, obviously, this is a cash game, and people just sit down with their own money and try and win other people's money. So there's no tournament here as such. So we've got a small pot at the moment of 20. No one's got anything fantastic. William has unfortunately got 4 clubs in his hand. It's never good because it makes it much harder to get the house, but has hit a queen. Yep, it's hit a queen. May well bet this and see where he is. He's up against a straight draw, ace 10 and a king. He'll probably get this through. I don't think he's going to get too much opposition because the draw that Michel has just isn't strong enough. But he has called. And I think that's a better 10, isn't it? €10? Yeah. So he's called with his king and has magically hit another king. So Michel has improved dramatically. William has not slowed down. That's interesting. So he didn't really recognise that king could have improved Michel's hand. Although he did bet quite small. He's only bet €11 into a €40 pot. And he's now wondering whether or not Michel has a king. Now the board has now housed up for William, so that's actually a very good card for him. It's one of the only cards he could hit to win, because the king, 3 kings on their own is not good enough. He does not have a full house, and William will show the queen 5, and Michel will give a rueful smile going, how could you hit that 5 on the river when I had you totally crushed on the turn? And that is PLO, chaps. PLO is never over until the fat lady sings, or the fat commentator in this case. Well played, William. To be fair, he was winning from the start, losing on the turn and winning on the river. So it was a very nice last card that gave him the full house. And just so it's clear, Michel didn't have a full house because he only had 1 king in his hand, and you've got to count 2 cards from your hand and 3 from the board. So he couldn't count the 2 queens into his 3 kings to make a full house. He could only use 1 of them. So, the long-haired lover from Liverpool coming in. Obviously one of Jens's supporters. Danish lad, probably. Young Dan is doing a small raise here with a questionable 4-6 Jack 9. Michel folds a better connected hand, and it's over to Jens. Who also folds. So Dan's aggression there, didn't really have much of a hand, but small raise, no one had anything really, so no resistance.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
It was the 8, yeah. 16, 20, 10, 16. Any 32s?
Any 32?
We have another hand being dealt out. You can see the stacks against each person's name. Dan's got 540, Michel's down to 170. Williams up to 761 when he hit his big full house of aces over jacks and took 300 off Jens. And Johan is fairly even, I think, on the 339. Or 305 now because he has 3 bets with a King Jack 9-6. Now he's using his table image. Dan is going nowhere. Dan actually has a very nice hand of 6, 8, 9, 10, one suit, but lovely connected hand. Just a 7 in the middle, so what's called a one gapper to a straight. And Michel also has 10, 10, 7, 5 double suited. So there's a lot of perfectly good Omaha hands here. All 4 have good hands, all dependent on the flop. We've got 2 diamonds. No one has a diamond draw. The Queen 8 might be hitting a straight. You've got the 9, 10 Jack in the middle. So this will probably go to the aggressor rather than the person with the best hand. And the first person to bet was Johan with the strongest table image. And he gets that through because of his very tight image in terms of what we've seen so far. So someone like Dan or Jens made that play, that may not have got through, but Johan has a good, strong table image. And table image is really important in both cash and tournaments. You know, how do people see you? Do they see you as a loose, aggressive player, as a weak player, as a strong player, tight player? All these terms that come out, and you need to know how people see you, and you need to recognize what image you give at a table and maximize a return from that. Oh, here we go, more drinks coming round. We've got straws in, must be cocktails. Rum and Coke, I'm guessing. I'm just here with a beer. Beer in Bratislava, very nice.
We ordered 2 Corona, right? Okay, you ordered 1. I don't order 2.
We have a new player come to the table. Don't know who it is yet. Dmitry Shubin. Seen him around, not played with him, so I haven't got much to add. Geza, another good hand, an ace, king, king, 10, a very nice holding, has raised to made a 3 bet to 32 euros after Williams' initial raise. So we had a small raise, another one, and Dan's coming in for the ride with an acceptable 7, 9, 10, king, 1 suit. So they're fairly connected with 1 suit. Again, this will be a flop dependent. At the moment, Geza is something like 60% favourite with the ace, king, king, 10. He has the king 10 of Dan dominated. But if, like I'm about to see, there's a very different flop. So Dan has hit 1 card on this flop. And because he has 3 other cards, he's actually in quite a strong position. Whether he knows that or not is another thing. So he certainly does. His chips were in almost as quick as Geza. So Dan knows that Geza will have an overpair. He will put him on an overpair to this board. He's now hit the magic 3 sevens. So Dan, will he check and let Geza hang himself? Quite possibly. Geza will feel strong in the sense of that the 2 sevens may help his kings. Dan is now betting into the pot of 158. How much is he betting? I'm quite a lot, 70. So half the pot, I think he bet. 75. Yep. It's a good bet. It's a difficult one for Geza to know whether he's winning or not. He may feel that the overpair is good enough, and he may well call. No, he knows what he's doing. So fold there. So the reason, by hitting one card on a flop and having 3 live cards, the chances of you getting 2 pairs, or in Dan's case 3 of a kind, are actually quite high. So although pre-flop, Geza was dominating Dan's holding because he had the pair of kings and a 10, whereas Dan just had a king 10, if you hit a flop, especially with a kind of lower card, and you're drawing to the other 3 cards in your hand, it's actually quite strong in Omaha, and it is often underrated by players. They don't realise how powerful hitting a flop can be, especially a kind of low, fairly uncoordinated flop when the opposition has raised and within reason you can put them on a big hand. So well played, Dan. That was excellent strategy there.
What time is it, sir?
I was going to say buy you a drink, but he's just run out some money, so he can buy me a drink later. Here we go, William. It's a nice hand here. Ace, King, Queen, 9. So nice connected, and 1 suit has raised. Dimitri, our new player, has called with an Ace, Jack, Jack, 3. You don't really want to be re-raising with that. In fact, he has, I'm sorry. He's made a 3-bet to 15. Now that will drive some players out, which is a good thing. Dan will certainly be calling with his 7, 8, 9 king. And Michel is coming in with a nice coordinated hand as well. William has the opportunity to re-raise if he feels that's the right play here. He has a strong hand, but I suspect he'll be calling rather than re-raising. Certainly thinking about it. He will feel his Ace, King, Queen, 9 is above average, but he was raised and he doesn't know the new player. He doesn't know enough about the player on his left yet, so he's making the conservative route of just calling. So we've got 4 players to a pot of 60 euros. King, Jack, 5. So I think that's hit quite a few people, isn't it? Mainly Dimitri, the new player, who's got a set of jacks. He's got middle set. No one has got a set of kings, but quite a few people have actually hit a king. Now he's a new player to the table. Not a lot is known about him, and no one's really hit much of that except him. So I suspect we're going to see 3 folds, unless someone wants to get stubborn, i.e. William. He's called the 40. And he has a gut shot, and he's hit his gut shot. So he's now hit the nuts. He's got Ace, Queen. He's got the nut straight. He checked it, and that was also checked. In fact, they've now both got the nut straight. It's even hand. They both have the same hand. The Ace, Jack hits the straight, and the Ace, King. So we'll see a bet, and we'll see either a raise or a call. He just called, and they're both showing the nuts. And a bit of chit-chat between the two of them. I think William came out of that quite lucky, because when he made the call, he was really quite far behind and only had the gut shot, and then the 10 popped in for his straight. But he didn't bet it, so he didn't put any pressure on Dimitro, to have to make a decision. He just checked it through. I guess he thought that Dimitro would make another bet and then he could raise all in. I guess that was his plan, but all's good in love and war, and we have a shared split pot.
Yeah, but that's perfect. I like that.
We've got a couple of questions have come through social media. One of them from a friend of mine who's currently in Italy, Karim Louis, who is the CEO of EcoSec. In fact, I'm an ambassador for EcoSec, and EcoSec run a poker initiative called Plastic Pollution Against Poker, and have signed up a few large operators. So far, not Casino Banco. Interesting. Or any of the other kind of casinos more in Eastern Europe. These are biodegradable bags for the chips. So obviously in a cash game you don't get that, but in the main event here, after all the day ones, the chips are put into bags, names are written on the bags, and then they get taken away securely until day 2 starts. So shout out for Kareem and EcoSec. Great initiative there that I've been involved with for a few months. Right, back to the action. We have a raise by William with a 4, 7, 8, 10. Gezza's not going to go away. With his ace king 3, 6. So now we're going to see a flop. It's quite a decent pot already, 54 in the pot. With William's 3-bet. King Jack 9, so Queen 10 is the nuts here. No one has the nuts. Oh, a little dance from Dan. Can't see Michel's hands, but he's bet into the pot, and I don't think anyone's called, so he's taken down a nice little €80 pot. So Dan in late position is making a raise, but this time he actually has a fantastic hand. Double suited aces. Now this is the advantage of a player like Dan who makes raises with much less. Unfortunately, no one has anything. He shows a very, very strong hand to everyone, and people are just inwardly smiling because he got no value from it. So unlucky there, Dan. Great hand in late position, but no one had anything to resist or call him with. Gezza has 7-7, Queen 10. Kind of hand that some players would call with. Oh, I'm just going to move around a bit. Oh, and legs amongst lots of wires. Now again, Dan's raising in late position. He's, I think is he on the button? No, he's not on the button, but fairly late. We've got 2 or 3 players in this one, maybe 4. No, 3, pot of 28. King 9-4, 2 spades. So Dan's hit that fairly well, as he's got the flush draw plus the king. Michel will almost certainly fold. Can't see William going any further either. So Dan bet, I think 15 into that pot. It's happy to show that we had top pair and a flush draw. So here we have 4 to the flop, with a smallish pot so far. Well, that's gone up to 72, and graphics are catching up. Missed that one completely. So looks like the 5-bet took that through. We have the dulcet tones of Franca, who created the festival, right behind me, playing the PLO high roller. Marvellous. It's going to help. Okay, so here we go. Another hand. So at the moment we only have the 4 euros from the blinds. Michel, who's getting quite low in funds, is raising with an ace king 3-4, 1 suit. Lots of folding going on. Jens looks interested. So he's called with a good holding of ace 10, 7, 9, double suited. It's quite a strong hand. He's losing on the diamonds to Michel, but lots of flops will hit him here. It's quite a toss-up between the two, but now Jens has actually hit the 10 and has a gut shot draw with a 7-9. He's probably going to bet this. He's going to feel quite confident. And Michel, because he's low on both funds, is calling. Okay. Quite a speculative call. He has hit the flop. He's hit the 3. He's now got a gut shot draw. It's not a good card for him though, because it gives a flush draw to Jens. So he's following through though. He's betting big. Can't see Jens going anywhere with a nut flush draw and a 10. Indeed, he calls. And there's the ace. So in fact, Jens has got top 2, but Michel has closed down, and the ace 10 will win the hand. Michel looking fairly disgusted, but to be fair, not sure it was a great call in the first place. I think I might have just given up on that one and folded once Jens bet, because he really didn't have a lot of that, and he didn't have much of a draw either. Here we see on the screen, coming up at the end of October, 250,000 guaranteed for a buy-in of only 170. What amazing value Casino Banco put on for the poker community. Of course, the main event here at the festival in Bratislava is a 550 euro buy-in, but is guaranteed at 500,000 euros, €500,000 in the prize pool. Some of the players I've talked to and some of the management here at both the casino and the festival feel it could be nearer 600,000 by the time all the buy-ins have finished. So we're now Wednesday night. We have a buy-in tomorrow, 1C tomorrow, Thursday, Then we have 1D on Friday and a turbo 1E on Friday evening. So there's still 3 day ones to go, and then those that get through, day 2 starts on Saturday. So Dan back to a very, very strong hand of ace, king, queen. Now Michel has called with a 6, 6, 8, 9, and that's a perfectly reasonable call, but he's low on chips. He's looking to kind of gamble here with a hand that he's hoping to hit. In fact, Dan again has smacked that flop with a king. He may elect to check here. No, he doesn't. I think I might have played that a bit trickier because Michel is so down, he may have been forced to make a big bluff. I think he's actually thinking about this. Cannot believe that. Is he called? My goodness me. He is called with absolutely nothing. He has no draw at all. He's literally drawing to a 6. Dan has gone, okay, you want to play, let's go. So Dan has the king with an ace kicker. Ace, he's showing an ace, probably showing the king. Michel, a rueful smile on his face. I don't know how he called that bet on the flop. It's just, I think he's stunned by the lights, a bit like a rabbit in the headlights. He'll be going back to Holland a lot poorer if he carries on playing like that. Oh, the names are up there in terms of Daniel Algrim, essentially. It's Pilgrim, but anyway. You might want to change that, guys. Algrim? Well, why not? So here we have 8 players playing a streamed cash game, a PLO game, 4 cards each. In England, most of the cash games are 4, 5, 6, and most of the tournaments are now 4, 5, 6. There is a 4, 5, 6 tournament tomorrow evening here at the festival, €250 buy-in. I think it's in the evening at some point. For those interested, and we've got a few good hands coming up here. It'll be like Johann's hand, ace, king, jack, 10, 1 suit. And he's 4-bet it to €20, quite rightly. Now William will defend with a king, queen, jack, 3. It's a perfectly reasonable holding. He just doesn't know it's dominated quite so badly by Johann. And you can see there that Johann was 80%. That's now gone up to 96 because he's hit everything. No one's got a flush. He's got the jack 10. He's got the made straight and 2 pairs. In fact, that's now brought William into equal. But William has no real redraw. Well, not much of a redraw here. They're both redrawing to a house. And we have a straight flush on the board. Look at that, isn't that beautiful? Ace, king, queen, jack, 10 of diamonds, all on one board. Every poker player will appreciate that. Of course, that isn't the best hand. Unfortunately, you have to use 2 from your hand and 3 from the board. So they both have the same straight, a Broadway straight, ace to 10, no diamonds, and they both have 2 pairs as well. So fairly even there. Perfectly good call by William. He didn't know he was dominated so much, and probably got a bit lucky, but a perfectly fair call pre-flop. Very uncomfortable. Also, the camera is. I have to look here, and the camera is. So that was a nice split pot there. Here we have another hand being dealt out. William making an early raise. Dimitro going nowhere with 8, 10, 10 jacks. Very nice holding. And Queen Jack Jack 2, very similar kind of holding, but double suited by Geza. I think he's just calling the 3-bet, which I think is sensible. Jens has a very interesting hand. I don't know whether he's going to play it, but the 4, 6, 7, 8 can, if it hits a flop, you're going to be ahead, especially when you've had raises and calls where people are more likely to have big hands. So we've got 4 players to the flop. There's 72 euros in it already. We've got jacks, we've got tens, we've got straight draws, we've got lower straight draws, we've got flush draws. So lots and lots of draws. And there's our low hand, like I said, 3, 5, 6. Now that's an interesting one. We've got Sandor smacked that. He's hit 2 pairs and he's got the nut flush. But equally, Jens has also hit it very, very big. So he has the made straight with a 4-7 and the upper straight draw, which is why he's 45% favourite. The other two Dimitru may elect to play, but he doesn't. So Jens has bet his hand. He's now behind to the nut flush. Sandor has bet. Will Jens recognise that he's now gone from hero to 0? He does. He wants to show how unlucky he's been, and he has been already, because there were 2 4 hearts out there, and a shake of the head says it all. Sandor takes a pot. So we have a new hand dealt out, a few early folds. Now we got a raise with the ace king 8-6 by Jens. Dan is certainly calling the 8 euros with a king jack 10-5, and Sandor called already with it's a very good hand, I think. 8-8, 9-10, right across the middle. So we've got lots of more players than usual in this pot. We've got 4 players, 34 euros already in. Everyone's got something. Everybody got something. But we have a flop of 2-4 jack, and that hasn't really hit anyone. We've got a gut shot by William. Dan has hit the jack and may decide to bet it. He is on the button as well. He's decided to check, actually. Now we've now got 2 diamonds. William has now got the up and down with the jack, so he's probably in fairly good shape at the moment. Don't quite know why Dan is being billed as 56% favourite. In fact, I was right. So Sandor has hit a straight. There won't be a lot more money going in because diamonds have hit. So I think it will just be a showdown. But Dan was not in that good a shape. I actually quite like William's hand. He was up and down. The 5-6, 4, 5, 6, 7. And the gut shot came in for Sandor. Change of dealer.
got here at like 7 p.m.
We've got a new hand being dealt out in this PLO 2-2 cash game at the festival here in Bratislava. And just a reminder earlier, exciting news that the festival will come to the UK, where I live, to Nottingham, dusk till dawn, which is the biggest casino in Britain at the moment. It's housed the Poker Millions and quite a few of the party poker events, and will now house the festival. And all you lovely Scandies and Icelandics and Slovaks and Czech players that I meet going around the festival will be very welcome to Britain despite Brexit. I don't want to get political, but I love our European neighbours. But our government and previous government weren't so keen. Anyway, back to the action. Dimitro this time has the aces with the suit and has made a 3-bet. Seems to be getting respect by the rest of the table and takes the pot unopposed.
You should have told 3 man. It's not a golden. At least.
You should just play more hands than I'll I'm opening my
Not a lot to commentate on at the moment. Comes round to Dan. Certainly not scared to put chips in a pot. Young Dan has made it €8 with a double suited hand. Queen Jack 6-4, 2 connectors, double suited, perfectly reasonable cash PLO hand. Defended by William. And our newcomer to the table, Dimitro, who has again a very good hand of 7, 9, 10 Jack, 1 suit, nice connected hand, and William also has a good hand. So this is all about the flop, and the flop has 2 clubs in it, so Dimitro will be happy with that. Hasn't hit William very well, so I could see Dimitro and Dan getting involved here. Yeah, Dan's not going to fold. He's hit the 4-6, he's got the straight draw there, plus he's hit the 6. If a club comes, he can get away from it, and there's the club. Although it has given Dan 2 pairs, but I think Dan will... Oh, that's interesting. It's a cheeky check. Little check from Dimitri. I hope he doesn't regret that. Dimitri is winning with the clubs, probably going to make a bet of around €20, I think, just to try and get value from his flush. Now he's checking it. Okay, that's an interesting one, people, because you could argue that he missed some value there by not betting it. He's already not bet the turn, so he's not represented a flush, and there are hands like a straight or 2 pairs that may well call him. So on the other hand, you could say he didn't get into any trouble because he could have been up against a bigger flush. There were 2 bigger flushes potentially there. So all in all, I think Dimitro played that well, played it certainly very safely. Dan didn't get out of line at all once the club came. I think he knew where he was, perfectly in his rights to make the first call with the pair and the straight draw. So that was a going by the book hand, that one, I think. Very good. And we get a raise by Jens. He's back in the action, hasn't played a hand for a while actually. And this time Michel has 3 bets because he has the ace, ace, queen. And Sandor is coming along for the ride. He has suited kings. So again, but Michel is down to €7. So whatever happens, his money's going in, and he's hit the ace anyway. Sandor will probably call. Has he reloaded? I may have reloaded, but he may not have much available to actually bet, so that money may be only available for the next hand. And he's taken it down. That's an example of not being able to maximize your value because you don't have enough chips in front of you, and yet you hit your nut top set. So Michel, unfortunately, was getting lower and lower. I don't know if you remember, but about 10-15 minutes ago he was down to about €100, and he didn't have enough to actually get maximum value from his hand.
You deal for 30 minutes? Okay, so he's the last dealer. The organizer guy said it when the dealer happened that we have 35 minutes.
When you said you know the history online and the table also click. Everybody knows what you're doing.
Now we're back to the action, and a small pot at the moment. No one's got too much. Daniel's folding a hand he would normally be raising with. It's interesting. William is coming in with an ace, king, 9-8, one suit. Defended by Johan, again with a good holding, double suited, 6-9, queen, jack. I don't know if Geza is going to get involved. No, he's folded. Well, what's Jens up to? I can't see Jens's hand at the moment. It's not good enough for €20. Jens, there is his hand, so yeah, fair enough. 3-7, king, 10, not a great holding. William will certainly call the small raise, and is dominating Johan's hand. Not only that, he's hit his ace. Johan has got nothing to do with his flop, but he may choose to bet it because he was the initial aggressor. So he did. He followed through with a €30 bet, €32, and William called. Johan may close down now, although that's given him a flush draw, but I think he's going to... Oh, wow, no, he's following through. It's a very aggressive play here by Johan. So he's bet 55. Is William going to believe that he's behind? He's got ace-king. So what he's got is aces and twos with a king kicker. So he's got a big kicker. He's only really losing to... Oh, he's losing to a 2, which is very unlikely. He's not losing to any other pair. And he has a good flush draw with a king-8 of clubs. So it's a very interesting hand here, because if William... Wow, no, William didn't really work that one through. It's very hard for you to be behind with the ace-king there. A very, very specific hand. But aggression, this is a cash game, and I think aggression is often the winner. And Johan, like I mentioned earlier, has a solid table image, and I think he's used that very effectively by betting on the flop and on the turn. Story was consistent that he has either aces or a hand that beats most other hands. But if William had thought that one through, he might have thought it's very difficult for him to be behind. He's only really behind aces with his ace-king, because that king kicker was significant in that hand. But there we go. Each to his own. It's not my money, it's their money. So we've had a 3-bet and a 4-bet. Michel made a 3-bet, and William, who might be a bit unhappy about the last hand, I think he lost about 100 euros in the last hand, has 4-bet with not a very good hand, and ace 10 7 7, so he's kind of making a move himself here. Geza actually has quite a nice hand and may well come in here with a 6-9 jack ace double suited, but he's quite a solid player. No, he's raised with it, so he's gone, okay, you got a good hand? Well, I think I've got a better hand. And there's a lot of interesting hands out there, but Geza's made it so expensive, and again has only really shown very good hands, so I would think everyone's going to fold, including the original 3-bet from William. So that was again a good example of aggression with a reasonable hand to back it up, taking down the pot.
I shot the 4-7 and you all assumed it was double through raise. Like, I don't even remember. I think it was ace king next to them. But it wasn't the pair. I think it was ace king 4-7 double through. I won 3 hands all 3 pre.
Yeah, but it could. So whenever
Just before you start playing.
So when I build my roll to about 100,
Here we go, next hand. Dealers all working hard here at the Banco Casino in Bratislava. Very good set of dealers actually. I played the 8th game today, which is a very complex game to deal, and they did really, really well. Very hard to find 10 or so dealers who know every game and understand the pots, etc. And especially with limit poker, which has a lot of limit games in 8 game. Obviously here, this is pot limit Omaha, so you can only bet a maximum of the pot. And we have a very nice pot already brewing. 3 players in, 66 in the pot. Ace Queen 4. Hit Dimitro, probably the best of the lot. He's got Jack 10-9, so he's got a gut shot and the top pair. He's certainly going to put a feeler bet out there, see where he is. And looks like, I don't think Dan will be coming along with a Jack 10-9-9. I'm pretty sure he'll fold, and William has missed as well. So there's no resistance on this one. I'm sure this will get through. No one's really been out of order in this cash game so far, and what I mean by that is you've got absolutely nothing and you just play on the strength of that your aggression and the amount of money you put into the pot will win you the pot, so you're kind of bluffing consistently through. No one's really done that yet and got out of order. They've all had reasonable hands or good hands when they've made 3 or 4 bets. Of all the players so far, Sandor has probably been the most creative in winning pots, but he hasn't played that many pots. So his JJ creative percentage is very high, 82%, but he hasn't actually played that many pots. So it's very hard to when you look at statistics, you need a wide range of examples to be able to analyse properly. So here we've got a smallish pot at the moment. There's been a 4 raise. Looks like there's a 3-bet come in by Dimitro, who's got the aces again. Johan is defending. He's also got the aces. Now that's interesting. So we've got 2 players with aces here. Johan has much the better of the aces. Dan has come along for the ride with a Jack 10-5. The way he's running at the moment, you can see a Jack hitting the flop, which will put Johan in trouble with an ace King Jack. We've got 1 suit with Dimitro, so he needs to see spades. Obviously no ace can hit because all 4 aces are out. Excuse me. So we've got a nice little pot of 54 with 2 very strong hands and Dan's. Has anyone hit the 6? No. So aces and 6s is winning at the moment. Not too many draws out there. This may well be an example of who is the more aggressive of the two players with aces. At the moment, we've got a 16 bet by Dimitro. I'm sure Johan will just call that. There's no value in him raising, and Dan will fold because he has missed. The favourite here is a split pot. We now have spades come in, so Dimitro has actually increased the chances of winning this pot because he has spades as well as the aces, but decides to check. So does Johan. If spade comes, no, they've both got a full house of sixes over aces. I'm pretty sure neither of them feel the other one has a six, so whoever bets, I think it'll be called. So a big, I think probably pot-sized bet from Dimitro, who feels confident that his aces and 3 sixes on board are winning. We could see a raise here, or just a call. No, just a call. Aces, and we're going to see aces. Split pot. Fair enough, Dimitro says, yep. Both deserve that one. Well done. Thank you very much. Next hand.
And you bust my balls. And you see them, and you always show the aces, and you bust my balls.
I retract my statement with you. I'm sorry.
I was bet on the turn.
Like, where's the 3 bets?
Great track playing in the casino here. More Than a Woman, one I used to sing in my youth. Still do, actually. Bee Gees, great band. Originally from Manchester. All brothers, the Gibb brothers. One of them married Barbara Streisand. Morris Gibb? No, the older one. Pretty good showbiz couple, that one. Right, back to the PLO cash. We're going to leave the Bee Gees for a bit. Lots of folding going on. Lots of crosses, but Dan's on the button. He's not going to resist raising on the button, whatever he's got, and everyone knows it. In fact, he's got a very good hand, ace, king, king, 8. May well get called because it's Dan, and he, although he's not actually a loose player, he gives the image of being loose because he plays the fool quite a lot, and I think that's quite a clever tactic. So what you see sometimes on the outside of a player is not what's going on in the middle. So we've had a 3 bet. So again, what William's doing there is he's going, well, I don't think you've got that good a hand because you're Dan. But in fact, Dan has come straight back and gone, well, I have got a very good hand. So what do you want to do? So we've got a pot of 96 euros, nearly 100 euros, 3 players, a 10, 4, 9. We've got 2 diamonds. So William has actually hit this quite big because he's got the gut shot and the diamonds. But Dan has the overpair kings and the nut diamonds. And he will be going absolutely nowhere. So we've got an aggressive play by William. He's betting just over half the pot. And quite reasonably, he's hit the flop. He's got 2 draws. Michel will certainly get out the way. He's got nothing here. Now, Dan, the question on Dan here is, does he call or does he raise? These are the only question he has. And looks like he's raising. So he's putting maximum pressure on William. I don't think William's going to fold because he feels he's probably ahead at the moment. He's now trying to get information from Dan, trying to find out where he is. He's uncertain now, having felt pretty good with that flop. He's now wondering, and probably quite rightly, whether Dan has the bigger draw than he does. And of course Dan does have the bigger flush draw and the overpair at the moment, so he's winning on all fronts. There's only really one way that William can win this, which is hitting 2 pairs with his king. So he can hit a jack, he can hit a 3, could hit another 10. It's whether or not he feels that he's getting enough value. So Dan's raise is putting him under really a lot of pressure. So a very good raise, and that pressure has worked. Well done, Dan. Raised with the right hand at the right time. I think he's probably going to show everyone his ace king of diamonds, telling everyone he's not just some goofy loose ball from Doncaster. He's a proper player. That's spelled P-L-A-Y-A. Player, which is like a player but more Spanish. Right. That was an interesting hand, that one. So William was making the play there. He put not far off €100 into that pot and felt that the pressure of Dan, which is very well played, perfect amount to raise as well, really inviting William to call or come over the top with and go all in, which is kind of what Dan wanted, trying to get maximum value from his draw. Now we've got another raise from Dan. He's on a roll, so this time he's raising with a substandard hand. And this is what I talked about earlier, that you'll get players raising with substandard hands and really good holdings, and he's had both. So he's consistently raising. People don't know whether he's got good hands or not. But of course, if you come back at him like Michel did, with a very good double-suited ace-king, then Dan will just fold if he doesn't have a good hand. But it's a good strategy in a cash game to be consistently aggressive and look to make the pots, and then when you hit the kind of flop that you're holding likes, then you can maximize your winnings just like Dan did in the last hand. He's put on a good display. I've had a few drinks with him in the past. I even went shooting with him in in Tallinn. We went on a shooting range, and it was a lot of fun. Real guns, although of course I'm against guns. Out here it's quite normal. People, farmers, use them all the time, and it's quite fun shooting real guns, to be honest. So here we have pot brewing. We've got a few decent holdings here. Gezza's got a nice hand, king, queen, 7-6, double suited. Johan certainly should be in here with his ace, king, 10-8, one suit. Nice connecting cards there. Jens, slightly less interesting hand, but if he hits the full house like he's just hit, he's hit a full house with his fours. However, William has also hit with a jack, so William is drawing to an ace, 7 or 8. So Jens has to be careful here. He's certainly betting it. William will not go anywhere. He's certainly going to make at least the call, if not the raise. He can't put Jens on a pair of fours, so he may think his ace jack is winning. He's certainly going to call as he pushed. I think he's raised. And Jens, reluctantly I think, puts in his money. He's winning at the moment. William is asking whether he wants to run it once or twice. So it's a very interesting hand, this one. Jens has the full house, but William is drawing to any 7, any 8 or any ace, in fact, or a jack, to win the pot. So it's not as clear cut as you might think. And often the under house here, where the fours are, it's fours over jacks, can be beaten. So it's a good job William doesn't have a pair in his hand, and he has 3 different cards to hit. That's the key one on this factor, and he hasn't hit one yet. And nor has he hit that one. So the first, they might be even doing 3. I don't know if they're doing 2 or 3. So Jens has got at least 50% of the pot. So again, William is looking for a 7, an 8 or an ace. Oh, there's another 6. So those. And there's a 10. They're all bypassing. So that's the second one. We might well have a third one here, which happens quite a lot in Europe. Yep, we've got a third one, so it's best of 3, 9. So again, that's missed. William finally hits one. So he's got jacks over 8. So William has won a third of the pot, and Jens has won 2/3. So it's a profit there. It's a big pot of €1,000, the biggest pot of the night. So 650, 700 is going to go to Jens, and there'll be a return for William. Now, if that had just been run once, and in the UK, there are casino rules that don't really allow them to run it more than once, whereas here is slightly more liberal. Then Jens would have taken the whole pot because he won the first draw. So that was an interesting one where it was run 3 times. Jens won 2 of them. William won 1. So William gets a third of the total pot. So that's why the dealer, you'll see there in the left of the screen, the dealer is trying to split it into 3 separate pots, so he can give 2 to Jens and 1 to William. So I think William would have lost about €150 from that pot, but he could have lost a lot. So in many ways, he will feel, he should feel he's come out of that quite well. I mean, if they only ran it twice, Jens run the first 2, so again Jens would have had 100% of that 1.1k pot. So that was an exciting pot, wasn't it, people? Yes, he answers himself. I think we got a misdeal. I think we got cards flying all over the place. So they will take all the cards in and deal that again. Meanwhile, the PLO high roller is in full swing. We're down to 2 tables. So that will become a streamed TV table later, guys, which I'll be commentating on. Obviously a different dynamic to the cash table, but the same game. Pot limit Omaha with 4 cards. So we're playing down to, I guess, 8 players for the final table. Not sure, without looking, I need to check. I'll come back to you on that, whether how many people are paid on that event. I think there were about 40, 50 entries, so I'm guessing 5 will be paid. So the final table of 8, there'll probably be 2 or 3 who are not in the money, and I'm sure there will be interesting payments with probably about 12 to 15,000 for first place, but I will come back to you on that. I'll take a picture and share it with you all. So here we are, back to the action. At the moment, I think Dan is certainly the most profitable. Jens is now in profit from that big pot because he lost a big one and won a big one, and has taken 2/3 of that pot, so he's about 400 up, I think, something like that. He's got 840 in front of him, started with 300, reloaded 600, so about 250 up. Got a nice raising hand here, ace, king, 10-9. Sandor folds. Dan will certainly defend with an 8-8, jack 10, again a very playable hand. Now Michel is coming in. What's he got? Again, nice hand, king, jack, jack 10. So some good hands coming out here. Dimitri, cool. No, we've got a 3-bet from William with a double suited hand, ace, queen, 10-5. So he's trying to thin out the opposition, but everyone has pretty good hands here, so he's not going to get too many to fold. Probably only 1. I think there's been 1 fold. We may have folded anyway. So William building up a big pot, having just lost About 150 on the last big pot. Again, we're down to who's hit the flop best. We've got King 3-4, 2 hearts. So William has got the flush draw. No one else does, which is interesting. But King Jack brings a lot of people into it. So now Michel has a set of jacks, and he's down. So I can see him making moves here. We've got Ace Queen 10 of William, plus the flush draw. So that's definitely improved his hand. So we're going to see those two certainly getting a lot of chips in. We've got 75 bet from, yeah, as expected, and all in. The other two will fold. And Michel will go all in. He's what's called in a hole. He's at least 300 or 400 down. They're finding out, again, probably a discussion of how many times they want to run it. So we've got the wrap and the flush draw for our Scottish friend in seat 3, William, and Michel from Holland has a set of 3s. So we'll see how many times they run it. I can't hear them, so I don't know. There's not a lot in it. You see, well, exactly, you see 50-50. There you go. Really not a lot in it. They both have perfectly good hands with this board, and it's just a matter of luck or bad luck as to how it rolls out. So the first one, the jacks hold. So that's one pot to Michel. I don't know if they're running yet. They are running another one. What's he doing? Oh, and that one goes to the straight, gets hit. So I think it's 50-50 at the moment. If they're only running it twice, then they both get half the pot and have made very little on that, but they also didn't lose much, so it's all perfectly fair, that one, and they both had very good hands on that board. Set against a straight draw.
Is this the last time as well? Oh, you made it nice. This is not going to even happen.
A small profit there for both Michel and William.
Oh yeah, no, we're drawing that.
Dan's gone walkabout again. Sandals up. Is he leaving the table, getting his coat? It may well be getting ready to go on a break. I think they're doing a count now. Yep, we're going to go into a half-hour break. And I will see you in half an hour, everyone.
What's next?
Yeah. Plus this.
Minus 661. 561.
Did you do it, Danny?
Yeah, you won the last one.
I need to win like 3 games.
Yeah, I mean,
Right, guys, we're back with another recap. The second day is in the books of our beautiful festival here in Bratislava. 7 days total coming up. And yesterday we kicked the day off by going to the beautiful flagship restaurant. We brought our hospitality winners to go and enjoy some local food and beer. And we even got a historical lecture by Professor Frankie. The casino events started. In the casino we had the famous roulette tournament kicking off. Players battle it out at the Felts. Poker-wise, the main event started with Day 1A, well over 100 players in that one, and we crowned the winner of the Sweet and Special event. Congratulations, Michael. Also, our charity event was held on our TV table, and finally, our own Mr. Bad Beat Stories, Maurits, got to win something, and donating all the winnings to charity might give him some good karma for future events too, who knows. More action with the hospitality crew and more today, so follow us for all the action here on our socials.